Raiders 24, Giants 17, Oakland moves into tie for first in AFC West. Oakland. This was the type of game that made you want to shield your eyes, stop watching and maybe even flick on some Tiger Woods preseason golf instead. You probably wouldn't be the only one. You also would have missed a pretty entertaining fourth quarter of a game that came to life late, salvaging a disgusting first 3 quarters. Whatever happened at the Coliseum on Sunday hardly resembled football for the majority of the afternoon, let alone football played by one team now tied for first place in its division. Yet that's exactly where the Raiders, 6-6, sit after a 24-17 win over the Giants, 2-10. It was ugly, but it's a win. And now, we get a Raiders-Chiefs still next Sunday in Kansas City with both teams sitting at .500. Neither those two teams nor the Chargers seemingly with any desire to run away with the division. Despite the mess this one devolved into, the game started anything but for the Raiders. Marshawn Lynch reached his 5th highest rushing total of the season in just 3 carries. He took the Raiders' first 3 plays from scrimmage 60 combined yards on the ground, the third 51 yards to the house to open the scoring. The Giants went 3 and out on their first 3 drives, and this one looked headed for a massacre. Yet the Raiders sat below .500 for a reason heading into Sunday, and they kept the visitors in the game far longer than they should have. Sans Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper, Derek Carr couldn't get anything going in the air. Not even Jared Cook picked up steam, facing the worst team in the league at defending tight end. Lynch passed his previous season high of 76 rushing yards with a 6-yard carry late in the second quarter, but nothing else gave Oakland's offense even the slightest signs of life. The defense, however, kept a Geno Smith-led Giants team in check as it should. After Marquette King was bum-rushed on a punt inside the Raiders' 10, he didn't even have time to punt and just took the hit. New York had a chance to take the lead before halftime. Just in time, Khalil Mack decided to be the Mack of old, almost tripping off Smith's right arm while strip-sacking the quarterback to reverse possession. Only a Giorgio Tavecchio 39-yard field goal had the Raiders ahead at halftime by a slim 10-7 margin. And you thought the second half couldn't get any more gross than the first? Well, you were wrong. Trying to describe it here might just hurt your eyes. It included some fumbles, some punts, some terrible throws and some conservative play calling. Luckily for the Raiders, DeAndre Washington injected life into their offense with a 9-yard touchdown run early in the fourth. The fireworks continued, this time from the team in white, when Smith found rookie tight end Evan Engram for a 10-yard touchdown. One of the worst teams in football wasn't going away just yet. Carr was in danger of not throwing a touchdown in a game he played for the first time since December 8, 2016 against the Chiefs. Right on cue, he found Johnny Holton from 9 yards out with under 4 minutes left to stretch the Raiders' lead back to 10. That was just enough, the Raiders escaping with a 7-point win in the end. With the Chiefs' loss to the Jets earlier Sunday, Kansas City is now 6-6. The Chargers, after starting 0-4, are also 6-6. With Oakland at .5002, the AFC West is a mess. The Raiders have a chance to distance themselves ever so slightly next weekend, as a trip to Kansas City with plenty on the line awaits. Marshawn Lynch, the Raiders running back, tallied his most rushing yards of the season, amassing 101 yards on 17 carries. His 51-yard touchdown on Oakland's third play from scrimmage salvaged an otherwise dreadful first three quarters for the hosts. Lynch also caught 2 passes for 20 yards in his best game as a Raider. Cordarrelle Patterson, without Michael Crabtree or Amari Cooper, Patterson stepped in with 4 catches for 97 yards. His biggest play of the day came late in the fourth, when he took a short pass from Carr 59 yards down the sideline and inside the Giants' 10-yard line. Patterson's burst of speed set up Holton's touchdown, which came 3 plays later. Marquette King. In the game that lacked offense for 3 quarters, King was dominant again. He averaged 50 yards on 4 punts, booming a long of 62 and downing 2 punts inside the 20-yard line. The only punting gaffe wasn't even King's fault, when he was mauled inside his own 10, forced to take the hit with no time to get a kickoff. Max strip sack. The Giants had a 2nd and goal from Oakland's 4-yard line just before halftime, and a chance to take a 4-point lead with the Raiders receiving the second-half kickoff. The reigning Defensive Player of the Year annihilated Smith's right arm, ripping the ball away without letting it even touch the ground. Oakland's second fumble recovery of the game preserved its lead into the break, a pleasant surprise for the Raiders considering their otherwise miserable first half. DeAndre Washington touchdown run. The Raiders couldn't put the Giants away after scoring on their first drive of the game, but Washington's 9-yard touchdown run gave the hosts their first 2-score lead of the game. He took a handoff from Carr right up the gut, spun off a tackle and found pay dirt for a 17-7 lead with just over 10 minutes left in the game. Washington recovers onside kick. After Aldrich Rose's 52-yard field goal cut Oakland's lead to 7 with 1:38 left, Roses tried an onside kick as the Giants' last hope. Washington, the unsung fourth-quarter hero, pounced on it to seal the game. He also received the last 3 carries of the afternoon, gaining 2 yards on 3rd and 1 to ice the game for good. Jalen Richard muffed 3 punts on the day, all which the Raiders recovered, and let a punt he should have caught roll to the 1-yard line. After his 3rd fumble, the Giants didn't punt again, so we didn't see if Jack Del Rio planned to go with another returner. Clive Walford had 3 catches for 10 yards before Sunday. Against New York, he caught 4 passes for 57 yards, a pleasant surprise for the Raiders' passing attack.